Hi guys, the concrete farmer Mike Graham seems to believe that a petition pressuring the Labour government to call another general election will achieve just that. Now, he was speaking to the failed Reform UK candidate for Parliament, Ben Habib, where he claimed to have predicted something like this. However, his line of thinking doesn't make a lot of sense. He also appears to be confident that the people signing the petition are actually people. Have a listen to this.
But that's what I've always said, and I've said this since July when they came in and people used to laugh at me and say, what are you talking about? They're in for the next 4 or 5 years with a massive majority. Don't be so stupid. I kept saying, look, I have a feeling in my bones, I don't know what it is, that this government is so useless and so hopeless that something will happen, some event will happen, which will be cataclysmic, which will make us have to have another election.
So you've been saying since July that the government is hopeless and useless. Since July. So as soon as they got into power, you made a judgment on the new Labour government. Yeah, they're useless and hopeless within a week, within a month. Obviously, you started from a position that you didn't want them in power in the first place. You're not good at judging things. You automatically said, I don't want a Labour government, so as soon as they enter power, I'm going to claim that they're useless and hopeless. Okay.
Because also the people who are voting in this mass signature event, which is currently now at 1,828,000. When I started the show, it was at just 179. So you're basically looking at 30,000 people have signed it.
30,000 people. How do you know that they're people? How do you know that they're not bots? Because some people have looked into the data and they found that a lot of people a lot of signatures, I should say, as opposed to people. A lot of signatures are in China, in Brazil, in other parts of the world. Not a huge number of people from Clacton, it seems, are signing this petition.
In the last hour alone, right? So I reckon it's going to make 2 million before the end of my show. The bottom line is that people are fed up, not because the government are bad, but because the government got in, as far as they know, on false pretences. They pretended that they were going to be a government for the people. They pretended they were going to be a government of change for the good, when in fact all the things they're doing are changing everything for the worse.
Where was the petition when Boris Johnson said that he would build 40 new hospitals? Where was the petition for Brexit when Boris Johnson said that he would get Brexit done? Brexit is not done. You can even ask Ben Habib, is Brexit done? He will say no. So where is the petition for that? Politicians lie all the time. Politicians will say we will do X, and then when they get into power, they don't do X, or they do the opposite of X. They do it all the time. They will say, well, the economic situation has changed, or there's been a problem with X, Y, or Z, or because of the pandemic, or because of this or that, or war, or whatever. They will find excuses for doing something or not doing something. But what's the point in this petition? This is just, I believe, an attempt to rally support behind this idea that we need to get Labour out of power. And who would this petition benefit? Who would actually benefit from a general election tomorrow? It's not going to happen, but let's say under some sort of strange hypothetical. Well, the Conservatives and Reform UK would definitely benefit from this. And who's shouting the loudest about it? Reform UK and the Conservatives. Is it possible that there will be a general election before 2029? Yes. Is it possible that the government could be brought down? Yes. Is it going to happen now? No, it's not. The Labour government have only begun. The Labour Party are not interested at the moment in bringing down their own government. I've said this in another video. The only way the government can be really brought down is by a no confidence vote in the government, which would require a majority of Labour MPs backing it. You'd need the opposition, and you'd need Labour MPs. Now, even Labour MPs who've lost the whip are unlikely to vote with the opposition to bring down the government, because they know the replacement will be the Conservatives again. Like, the Conservatives were kicked out a few months ago. Nobody really wants them back, apart from the Conservatives themselves. And Reform UK voters think, once again, that Nigel Farage can become Prime Minister if enough of them vote for him. It doesn't work like that. So the people who are signing this petition, the real people, are deluded. And I think the rest are either bots or people who just don't know anything about the UK and are being convinced this is a way to punish Keir Starmer because of the riot, his response to the riots or something like that. It's all pretty pathetic. And of course, right-wing commentators will try and push this as much as possible until it sort of runs out of steam, which will probably be in a week's time. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.